All righty, well, thank you for joining us for the Stockton Energy Savings Workshop for Climate Leaders. My name is Justina, and I'm at the Rising Sun Center for Opportunity. I have my colleague, Sophie, over here, that'll be also presenting, and then we also have Melanie from Grid.
Hi, everyone. This is Melanie B Becker, Director Outreach and Clean Mobility for Grid Alternatives North Valley. And I'm going to be sharing a little bit today about our Stockton Energy for All program and some other resources. Excited to be here.
Perfect. And then if you have any questions along the way, please, raise your hand. And also if all the guests are here, please let us know if there's any questions while we go through the slides. Perfect. So just an overview of today. We're going to be going over some energy challenges, some energy solutions, so other programs that you can possibly take advantage of. And then we're going to go in more depth about our TCC projects, so Rising Sun's Greenhouse Coal Program and Grid's Alternative Stockton Energy for All program. So that's the agenda for this presentation. So the first thing we want to talk about is challenges. So we also did a sustainable neighborhood plan, and Stockton residents voiced out that they were really concerned about their energy costs and how they would be able to pay their bill. And then also due to COVID-19 and the pandemic, CPUC, which is California Public Utilities Commission, they reported that 15 to 20% of energy usage has risen over the same time last year due to California's shelter in place. That can be due to more people work from home, youth going to school from home and whatnot. So many factors that are making electricity bills go up higher. So because of that, we wanted to share some energy saving tips with all of y'all, and then some resources that you can potentially take advantage of. And so these are just some energy saving tips that were provided by Energy Upgrade California. I'll read a few of them on here, but we can also share this presentation later. But one is keep your lights off to the extent safely possible, including exterior lights that may be on a timer. Set your thermostats to 78 degrees or higher, health permitting. Turn your air conditioner. Can you hear us? Yeah, okay. Make sure none of your furniture is blocking any vents to make sure that air is flowing efficiently. Charge your laptops and your cell phones before 3 p.m. or after 9 p.m. to avoid peak hours where energy is more expensive. If you can, unplug energy vampires when not in use. So if your television or game consoles are plugged in, even though they're not in use, they're still draining energy from your household. If you can, cover your windows to keep sunlight from heating your home. So if you have curtains, that would be amazing. If you don't, maybe something you can hang a blanket or something to cover some of that sunlight. So those are just some of the tips that Energy Upgrade California has provided. And it's also, if you want some more tips from PG&E, they also have a document called PG&E Energy Saving Tips that offer investment tips for improving energy efficiency. And then we also wanted to talk more about time of use. Does anybody know what time of use is? Maybe, kind of, no? Okay. Nick, I see you talking. We're good?
I was just saying when it's being used.
Yeah, so yeah, time of use. So a lot of our rate plans within with PG&E, they converted to a time of use rate plan, which means that from the hour, so for 7 days a week, from the hours from 4 p.m. to 9 p.m., that's when your energy is more expensive. So that you're paying more per kilowatts per hour. So to combat this, we recommend that you do activities that uses a lot of energy before 4 p.m. and after 9 p.m. all 7 days of the week. So some examples that use a lot of energy is doing laundry, running your dishwasher, and doing anything heavy load like that. Or if you have an EV vehicle, plugging in at night, or between the hours of 9 p.m. till 4 p.m. Because it's cheaper during that time. And then also like for myself, from 4 to 9, I try not to even plug my laptop. And then I turn my lights off, open up the windows so there's some sunlight, so I don't have to turn on the lights, but trying to avoid as much things on during that time because it's really expensive. And then also what you can do too, you can log into your PG&E account to see what rate plan you're on. So some people, they have peak price from 4 to 9 every day of the week. You may be in in a residential rate plan that is maybe 5 to 8 p.m. that's more expensive. But just to be safe, if you can avoid doing high loads during 4 to 9, that'll help you save some money, hopefully. Any questions? No.
One real quick. So this do we have to do this because PG&E decides to like charge more?
So if you have a time of use rate plan during 4 to 9, they will charge you more between those hours. So let's say, for example, they'll charge you 30+ cents during 4 to 9, but after that time's like 20-something cents per kilowatt per hour. So yeah, you're using, although you may be using the same amount of energy, it's just more expensive during that time. Yeah. Yeah.
It also just means like strategizing too. So, you know, I have a big family, there's 7 people in my household, and everybody needs to do laundry, everybody needs to do things. So we just try to make sure that we plan it on the weekends, you know, when there's more time for people to do that. And yeah, so we're not, you know, rushing to do laundry because the night before school or something.
Yeah. And then also, like, if you buy a dishwasher, maybe you can like pack it, like load it up, and then once it hits 9 o'clock, then actually start it, just to help you save energy.
There's also, you know, some of your plug-in up things at home have timers, so you can, you know, set like your coffee maker to make coffee at, you know, a certain time, or just like if you have an EV, most of the chargers and even the vehicles have settings in them where you can set what time they charge. So taking advantage of some of those things is helpful. So
yeah.
For laundry too, then you wash with warm water or hot water. Like that's when you use the most energy. And sometimes like deciding to use cold water instead will save you a lot of energy too. So using that as well. That's strategy.
And then also like on PG&E's website, you can also compare different like rate plans to see, they go based on like what your usage was for the past year, and they see what's the most effective one for how you use your energy. So there's different things you can play with on PG&E's website to see what's more effective for you, and they have more tips. All righty. And now I'll pass it over to Melanie to go over the CARE program.
we'll do the switcheroo of chairs. Hello. Yeah, so I was going to talk about a couple of different programs. CARE is also, like, how can I sit so that everyone can see? CARE is also a program of PG&E. It stands for California Alternative Rates for Energy. It offers a 20% discount on PG&E gas bills, 35% discount on PG&E electric bills. The eligibility is based on your household size, your income, and then also can be based on whether or not you're enrolled in other public assistance programs, because many of them have the same requirements. And this program you have to renew every 2 years to participate. So there's information, and we'll be sure to share this out with you guys so that you have all the links and everything, but there's information there on how to apply for that program. Here is a list of some of those public assistance programs that could you know, qualify you for CARE, such as LIHEAP or WIC, food stamps, CalFresh, Head Start. So you can see a list of those things there. And then it looks like we're covering up the income. But so for a household size of 3, the maximum income in the household would need to be $54,900 or less to qualify for the program. So you can either qualify that way or through participation in public assistance. Does that make sense? Any questions? Yes.
So I'm gonna explain again.
Absolutely.
So it's either you qualify or you have any of the ones on the right, or
It's either or, yeah. So either you're you participate in WIC, that could qualify you. If you don't participate in any of those programs, but your household meets the income guidelines for your size of household, then you can qualify that way. Does that make sense? Okay, thank you for asking. Okay. Yeah, that sounds good. So just to repeat back, she was clarifying whether, essentially, just whether it's an either or to qualify for this program. And it is either participation in public assistance or meeting those income guidelines by your household size. We'll try to repeat people's questions just to make sure everybody is heard. Another program that PG&E offers is the FARA program, and that stands for Family Electric Rate Assistance. And this is for folks that whose household exceeds the care income limits. It still offers an 18% discount, but on PG&E electricity only. So the other one, if you recall, was for gas, and there was one for electricity. This is for electricity only. And you can see the eligibility on the right in terms of people in the household. And this one's a little bit different because it provides a range of income. So for a family of 3, the household income would be $43,921 to $54,900. And if I'll jump back for a second here, but if you compare that here, you'll see that the max is $54,900. So those are the same highest cap, but there's a threshold here that you need to qualify for in order to meet the FARA guidelines. Yes. That's a good question. So she was asking whether or not PG&E is electric and gas or just electric. And the answer is some customers use electric and gas, but some customers are just electric. So for example, where I live, I have PG&E for electric, but I have propane for gas, and it's a separate utility. Yeah, in some areas, it just depends on where you live. Yeah.
So the discount will only be on like what you use for electricity. So if let's say you're also using gas, the discount will only go towards the electricity or both, depending on the program.
So Sophie, yes. So Sophie clarified that if you are in PG&E and you have PG&E electric and gas for FARA, the discount would only apply to the electric portion of your bill, not the gas portion. And again, this program you have to renew every 2 years as well. Are there any other questions? So far we talked about care and we talked about FARA. Next, we'll talk about the medical baseline program. And this is for residents who are PG&E customers that have special energy needs due to medical conditions. It's based on need, not on income. And the program includes a lower rate on the monthly energy bill and extra notifications in advance of a public safety shutoff. Do you guys know what the public safety shutoff is?
Isn't it when everybody's like for them, or is it because like the heat or something?
Sort of, yes. So the public safety shutoffs are, when we have high wind, high temperature, high wind, like fire conditions or wind conditions that could, cause a power line to fall over and catch fire. It's really to protect from those incidences. So when it's predicted that there's going to be a high wind event, PG&E will sometimes shut off the power for a period of time to avoid some of those tragedies that we've seen in the past. So for the medical baseline program, if you're somebody that uses like a CPAP machine or something, it's really important that you have, consistent electricity and are able to plan for emergencies. And so that's why they offer this extra advance notice for the public safety shutoff and then a lower bill amount. So also on here, typically you'd need a signature by a qualified medical practitioner. So you can't just say you have a medical condition if you don't. Example of qualifying medical conditions could be sleep apnea, paraplegic, multiple sclerosis, or special heating or cooling needs. So again, if you or anybody in your family is interested in this program, you can follow that link there, which we'll provide later. in the presentation if you want to follow up on that. That one actually doesn't say that I'm not sure. That's a really good question, and I will find the answer to that because I'm not sure if it's a 2-year renewal or not. Another program that we wanted to share is the Relief for Energy Assistance through Community, which is also known as the REACH program. This is one-time payment assistance. It provides an energy credit for up to $300 based on the past due bill. The same income guidelines apply as the CARE program, and the customer must have received either a 15-day or 48-hour disconnect notice. And there are different nonprofit organizations that run that program. So to apply for that assistance, you would go to the link that's provided here. There's a list of them down below to get assistance in filling out those applications. Any questions on REACH?
So, we don't contact PG&E, right? They contact those.
That's a really good question. So her question was, so we don't contact PG&E for this. For CARE, so we've talked about CARE, FARA, medical baseline, and REACH. For the first 3, you would contact PG&E directly to apply. For REACH, you would contact one of these nonprofit agencies to help with that application. Any other questions? All right. So we gave a little quick screen or snapshot there of the links to those programs for easy access later. So now Justina and I are going to share a little bit about the programs that we have that help, like all of these things together are resources that you can use, right? Like your tips for energy efficiency, making sure you're on the right rate plan, taking advantage of, discount programs that might be available. But we also have programs through our organizations that can help with energy costs as well. So I'm going to first share a little bit about who Grid Alternatives is, which Nick, it seems like you already know about Grid since you have the shirt. But I'm going to share a little bit about who Grid is and our Energy for All program. So Grid Alternatives is a 501c3 nonprofit. We really believe in a just transition to clean, renewable energy that includes everyone. So not just the people that can afford it, but everyone. We're working across the US and internationally to make renewable energy technology and job training accessible to underserved communities. So the Energy for All program is one of Grid's programs. We have some other things we do as well. Today we're talking about the residential single-family solar program. We also have a multifamily program where we work with nonprofit affordable housing partners to offer, energy savings programs to renters. We also have a workforce training program, which I'll share a little bit more about. We do work internationally, and we also do tribal work. And we also are doing some programming in backup battery storage and clean mobility. So, access to electric vehicles, access to charging infrastructure and things, and e-bikes, you name it, lots of fun stuff. But today we're talking about the solar program. So the Energy for All program is, did I miss something?
Oh, you showed me on Marshall.
Oh yeah, good job. Yeah, see, he's been to tabling events. Nick knows what's going on. Sponsored by.
Yeah, I won your guys' little bag from the energy thing.
Right.
I won that at the raffle on that weekend.
At the
So I got
event.
Yes, I won the little plug-in things, and then the thing for the sink, and the thing for the air conditioner, a t-shirt, and yeah. And then I got 2 hats from the Mayo car.
Very cool. Yeah, I do remember that now. at the Rise and Ride event a couple weekends ago, you won the raffle. Yeah, so the Energy for All is a program that can save families up to 90% on their electric bill. It is an investment in your home, saves money, brings clean power to your neighborhood, and helps you be a clean energy leader in the community, which you guys already are, and you're just gonna like take it to the next level after this presentation. So if to qualify, you have to own your home, live in one of the funding areas, which we're going to talk about, meet income limits, which we're also going to talk about, but they align with CARE and FARA. Yeah, and then have like a roof that is conducive to solar. So how much does it cost? It costs $0. And if you live in this area, it is likely that someone has knocked on your door at some point and tried to sell you or your family solar, and may have used words like it is no cost or free, but that is not the case. There's usually some hidden fee like a lien or monthly payments, but because we are a nonprofit, there literally is $0 that the homeowner pays for the system. There's no credit score required, there's no payments, there's no lien, there's no hidden costs. And we're able to do that through state funding, federal rebates, sponsorships from corporations, donations, local funding, and grants. And we're going to talk a little bit about the Stockton TCC grant here in a little bit. So all those things help us to be able to prepay the system for families for 25 years, which makes it free. Or I shouldn't say free, it's no cost. So these income guidelines might look familiar. We talked about what the eligibility is, but these are the same income guidelines as the CARE program. And this, let me move our little faces out of the way for a second. So, oh, look at that. Okay, so this is the funding area. The Energy for All program is largely funded through the DAC/SASH program, which is solar for disadvantaged communities, single family homes. And what you're seeing here is some screenshots from a map called the Cal-Enviro screen, which basically has a bunch of indicators like, income and pollution, air quality and things. And they pull all those indicators together and they identify like what the focus areas of these programs should be. So this represents the top 25% most disadvantaged communities, and that is where we're doing our work. So for the North Valley, Grid Alternatives North Valley, we cover from Stockton, San Joaquin, you can see up through Sacramento, Butte County, and up to the Oregon border. But for today's focus, we're looking at the Stockton area. Any questions on that? Okay. So that's the funding area. We also offer, all of our projects are workforce training opportunities. So we do offer an online solar installation training, which is currently, we're offering a 4-week paid training in solar installation for Stockton TCC residents. There's some more information about it here, but essentially you go through the 4-week program, and if you complete it at the end, you can get a $1,200 stipend. The training is being held at 5 Keys in Stockton. Is anybody familiar with 5 Keys? Another really cool organization that you should check out later. And we're following social distance requirements and being really safe about things, but you can get your OSHA 10 certificate, CPR, first aid training. Yes, Nick, I saw you might have a question.
Okay, so where do I go to sign up to do this now?
Yeah, see, I think I'm blocking. Oops, let me go back. And now you can see, you can contact my friend Claire at volunteernv@gridalternatives.org to learn more about that training opportunity. But it's really great because it gets people the basic skills to be a solar installer, which is a really growing and exciting field to be in.
laws they require you to like pay for the whole tax, like how much you can live?
No, it's not required for this. I mean, I think you do want to be able to lift like a certain amount because you do have to lift solar panels to put them up, but you don't have to be like a superhero or anything. I've installed solar many times as a volunteer. We also have a volunteer program that we're excited to get restarted now that the COVID restrictions are lifting. So we'll share more about that in the future. But yeah, we could talk a little bit about that after. So then, if you remember the map, there's the North Valley and there's Stockton. And then if you can imagine like the little subset of Stockton that is the TCC project area that we're all working in that area, through our partnership on the Stockton TCC, we're offering no cost solar for 108 income qualified homeowners. Also with that funding, we're able to do some extra things like roof repairs, electric service panel upgrades, and some EV chargers to complement the solar installations. That funding is limited and it's on a first come, first served basis, but it's really exciting because it helps us to remove some of the barriers that folks have in getting solar. There's also the multifamily affordable housing projects that we're doing with STAND, HA, CSJ, and Visionary Home Builders that will help renters in the area as well. Any questions on this program as it relates to the TCC? Maybe?
Yeah, I didn't get that email address that was on the bottom of the other page wrote down all the way yet.
I will share this presentation with you afterwards, Nick, so you have the links to all of the things and the phone numbers.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Did you have a question? Okay, all right, so moving on. Again, we talked about the qualifications, but if you want to see if you or your family qualify, you can, or friends, you can send them here. I'm excited to have you guys out in the community talking about these programs and getting people connected with this resource because, you know, we would love to have a wait list. We don't have a wait list. There's, you know, plenty of funding still available and we just want to help as many people as we can. So that's how you can see if you qualify. Yes.
Have you put in solar in this area or?
Yes, that's a very good question. Don't quote me on the numbers, but last I looked, we'd installed more than 350 solar systems in this area in Stockton. Yeah, I can show you a map later too if you want to see like all the little dots. One last thing I'll say about this is we also have the referral program. So as you're sharing program out, if you do refer folks and they say you're the one that referred them and they end up going solar with us, you can earn a $200 referral reward per person for each of those referrals. I have some, and William will have some as well that have all of our different TCC programs on them, and so that you can, yeah, share that out. Nick, William was just saying we're just waiting on the city to approve those flyers, but once we have them, you guys will get some. And then up on the screen is all of our social media. So we hope that you will follow us and help share out some of the really cool things we're doing. I think we have pretty fun stuff out there on social. So there's that. And now I want to turn it over to Justina with Rising Sun to talk about the climate careers.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
I have flyers. Yeah. So Nick, right now we're just passing out greenhouse call flyers. I believe you got a flyer during the Rise and Ride, so I think you're good. And so we have, yeah, William can always email them to everyone. So we have flyers in English and then also in Spanish. And then the other flyer that Sophie's passing out too is a job opportunity for youth in the community. And I'll be going over all that right now. So Rising Sun, who are we? So Rising Sun Center for Opportunity, it's a long name, but we can go by Rising Sun. We've been in Stockton since 2014 doing our programs, but we've actually been running our program since early 2000s in the Bay Area. So our headquarters is in Oakland, but our Stockton office is at the Waterfront Warehouse, where Nana's is. So we have an office there. And what we do is we hire local youth to be energy specialists to help the community be more energy and water efficient. And I will go through how that happens.
I like next dog.
I know. So we have two models that we're doing this year. It's kind of a hybrid approach. So we are going to be doing in person now that COVID restrictions are lifting during the summer. And then we're also going to have a virtual program during the spring for residents who don't feel as comfortable with somebody coming into their homes. So the first one I'm going to go over is the summer in-person greenhouse call. So residents within the TCC area, so it's a 5-mile radius within South Stockton, I think it's south of Harding Way, can sign up for our summer program. And it's with, we have 2 energy specialists that will come to your home and do this whole 3 steps with you. So the first thing is an assessment. They'll walk through their home to see, you know, like what measures do you currently have? Like what light bulbs do you have? Are they inefficient? Meaning, do they use more energy than LED light bulbs? Is your toilet leaking? What kind of shower head do you use? Is it using too much water? So they'll be doing an assessment of your home. And the next step is installation. So with them, they have measures with them to install in your home. So if you have older light bulbs that use more energy, we'll replace them with LED screw-ons. We only do screw-in and screw-off stuff. We don't touch your fixture like other programs might have. So we provide you with LED light bulbs. We give you a smart power strip to help you save energy. We give you bath and kitchen sink aerators. So these are things that you screw onto your sink, both in your bathroom and kitchen, to increase the air pressure. And so you're using less water, but it feels basically the same. And then same thing, we give you an efficient shower head if your current shower head uses too much water. And lastly, then the last step up is we have our youth provide education to our residents. So they provide you with additional energy and water saving tips. They provide you with additional resources, like we'll be handing out like grid alternative flyers and other programs within TCC and some PG&E programs usually. And then we give you a kind of like a follow-up report on how energy and water efficient your home is. So that's during the summer. This is if you want a in-person greenhouse call. This is great for like seniors who can't typically reach items, or if you feel comfortable having 2 youth professionals coming to your home to install it for you. This is a great opportunity, not only for like as a client, but also giving youth a chance to kind of be active in the community and try to educate on how to save more energy and water. And then the next program that I touched upon earlier, it's our spring program. So instead of somebody going to your home, we actually have greenhouse call kits. And inside the kits are the same exact measures that we typically install. So they have 2 different light bulbs. They have globes, which are like the smaller LED light bulbs. And they have floodlights, which typically like go outside or in the kitchen. And then we have a smart power strip, which is this item right here. We have a shower head and some aerators, and then just a nightlight as a gift. And so this is like kind of like a big box that gets shipped to their house through USPS, and they're actually packed by us or the youth that we hire. And so it goes directly to your home so you can install it yourself. And in order to receive one of these, you would have to fill out a survey online or over the phone. All that information is in the flyer that I gave y'all. The second step is if you do qualify for the program, we'll send it to you in the mail. And we are not sending kits just out yet because we're recruiting youth to help us, you know, do the surveys with clients over the phone, build these kits, and also being able to follow up with clients. And then after that, you receive your kit, we do follow-up calls. So we share other like resources with you. Actually, the youth that we hire would do follow-up calls. And they also just make sure that, you know, you got your kit okay. And then the next thing we have, we have an appliance upgrade program, but I'm going to pass it over to Sophie to kind of talk about this additional program that's new to TCC area.
All right, thanks, Jill. So this is the first time that Rising Sun is doing this, thanks to TCC funding. So it's an appliance upgrade program, and practically how it works is if you're eligible to get the kit that we offer through our TCC funding, then you can also qualify to get a no-cost replacement and installation for the following appliances. So we can replace your toilet, your refrigerator, your dishwasher. We can install a water heater blanket, which is the one at the bottom left, and a smart thermostat as well. So these are appliances that have shown to like reduce your energy use a lot. So if they're inefficient, we determine if they're inefficient, and then we will pay for the appliance, we will pay for the replacement, and we will pay for the haul away of your current appliance. So there is a separate survey for this, but it is on the back of your flyer. And there it shows also the list of appliances. And yeah, a lot of people have been, I think at least 40 people have gotten at least one of the appliances. So our goal is to get as many of these installed in your home to help you save water and energy.
Can I add one thing?
Yes.
Yeah, and just to add one more thing, this program is open to renters and homeowners within TCC area. The only caveat we have for the appliance upgrade program is if you live in Conway Homes or Sierra Vista, the only appliance upgrade thing that you can apply for are toilets, because that's the only thing that Housing Authority is allowing us for now. But if you live anywhere else than TCC area, you can apply for any of these appliances, and based on how efficient or inefficient the ones are at your home, you can possibly qualify for a new one.
I have a question. Can you just get one thing or all of them? So when you submit your survey, we ask you like what you're interested in getting replaced, and then we ask for like the model number, serial number to determine if it's inefficient or not, and then we will consider you for all the 5, since we want to get as much appliances in your home. But that will be determined on like the year of your fridge, if your toilet is using too much water, if your dishwasher has an Energy Star sticker on it, if your water heater blanket doesn't have a blanket, your water heater doesn't have a blanket on it. So it really depends on the eligibility criteria, but we try to get as many of them in your home as possible. Yeah.
So it's an exchange, right?
So she asked, is it an exchange? Yes. So we will be hauling away your current appliance and replacing it with a new one. That's correct. And we will pay for everything. So there'll be no money coming out of your pocket. And if you are a tenant or renter, what we do is we do reach out to your landlord to make sure that they're comfortable and accepting of this appliance, but usually they're really willing to, because they want their home to have the best of the best, so, or the most efficient. So it helps the tenant because they pay lower bills, and then the landlord by having newer appliances. Yeah. Any questions? Yeah.
So do you guys have like this posted on like a social media or something?
Yes. Yeah. So I know that is coming up right on the link. So yeah, we have a website as well where you can see all the different the pictures on there and the different links as well. So we'll definitely make sure to share that. Awesome. So now let's talk about jobs. So Rising Sun is hiring energy specialists, and these are the youth that Justina was sharing about. So for this summer, we are hiring a total of 14 youth. We have 4 of them who are starting next Monday, but we're gonna hire 14 of them to work for the in-person summer program. So energy specialists, they earn $17 an hour. And if you're a driver, then we pay you $17.50 per hour plus mileage reimbursement. You will be working up to 28 hours per week, so 7 hours per day, 4 days a week. And the opportunity is available for Stockton youth between the ages of 15 and 22. So if you have any siblings, relatives, friends of friends, feel free to share out. You don't need no experience whatsoever. This, for many of the youth that we hire, it's their first job that they have. And those are the youth that we want to focus on, because our program is not just about providing work
and work experience, but we also help you gain valuable professional skills, professional development. For us, it's really important that when you leave Rising Sun, you know how to apply for jobs. You have your resume, your cover letter completed, you know how to network, you've built new references for yourself so you can have a successful, experience in the workforce. So the program details, the position is between June and October. And between June and August, it's when our in-person greenhouse call program will be. So as a youth, you'll be going out into the homes doing the installations. And then in the fall, you'll be participating in our externship program, which is also another program that we've started where we place you with another organization in Stockton to even gain additional skills, to have a different work environment, right? Learn new things. So that's what the program entails. So it's greenhouse call and then externship in the fall. So we do ask that if you do apply for this position, that you're available to work during this time. If you're a student, we will work with your schedule. We just need to, for you to be willing to work for that amount of time. And then you must be up to date also with the COVID-19 vaccine. So we do ask that you provide proof for that. But this is a picture here on the right, actually, of our team back in 2021. We had a virtual program. So as you can see, they had a kit building session, and the youth love it. We really care about you. You're not just an employee to us. We really want you to succeed. So there's a picture there. Yes.
So the extension, so first you do the June
June through August, yeah. June through October is the term, but it breaks down June through August. It's the greenhouse call, so you'll be going out to do the installation, to do the job, and then between August and October, it's when the externship takes place.
Okay, but you're already included.
Yes. Right. You're already part of that. It's just about choosing where do you want to be placed? What do you want to learn? What organization you want to work with? So we're currently right now searching for organizations to place you with. And the pay actually goes up during the externship. It's to $18 an hour for that. Really great experience. So very excited. Any other questions? And the application is really easy to complete. There's a link here that will take you to our job opportunities page, but really it's a 10-minute application, not we don't ask for a resume or cover letter or anything like that. We just want to get your demographic information, why you're interested in this, and then we will consider you, because we're not looking for no experience, job experience. Okay. Awesome. All right. I'll pass it back to Justina to go over the next slide.
Thank you, Sophie. So for this portion, this is just how to sign up for a greenhouse call. So we have an English link that will take you to our English survey, and then we have our Spanish link that will take you to our Spanish survey. This is the same exact information that you'll find on the flyer that we passed out. So you just take our survey, and on that survey, you can determine if you want the in-person one or if you want a virtual kit mailed to you. And if you don't feel comfortable completing the survey online yourself, you can always give us a call at that number right there. You'll leave a voicemail, and then one of our representatives will get back to you and do the survey with you over the phone. And that's typically a youth that we hire that will be doing that survey with you. And then if you're interested in following us and learning more about Rising Sun, feel free to follow us on any of our social media networks. We have Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn. Then also you can visit our website, risingsunopp.org, for more information about our organization. And again, we're located in Stockton, but we also have an office out in Oakland. And then if you have further questions for myself, Sophie, or Melanie, this is our contact information. Please reach out. We'd be happy to connect with y'all, answer any other questions you may have in the future. If you have questions about how to share our program, just reach out to us and we'll be happy to provide anything to y'all. I want to see if this is our last page. Yeah, this is our last page, so feel free to take a picture of this. But that kind of concludes our presentation. Does anybody have any questions? Yes. Yes.
And we'll also make sure to get the presentation itself too. We have all everything. I bet William get that to you. Yeah. questions?
Stockton, yes. And we also prioritize low income youth. So they do need to qualify as low income, so it's either, we follow, like if they receive public assistance, or the income guidelines, which usually like the care program utilizes. Those we prioritize low income youth from Stockton. But anyone can apply and then we'll reach out to see if they qualify.
And that's a really great point too, is that our programs follow the care, like collectively follow the care guidelines. So if you get really familiar with like what those care guidelines are and you're talking with someone, you can say like, oh, are you on care? Let me tell you about like all of these things, because when you do solar by itself, if it's safe, but if you're able to pair that with, upgrading your appliances and all those tips that we shared about energy efficiency, you can really make big impacts in your bill. And think of what you might do with that money, right? Oh, like pay for school, pay for food, pay for, medical bills, whatever the things are. Make have a savings.
All right, so for this, for the climate leaders, just really quick, our trivia question of the night. Just remember, Alyssa Levo's first day at PHA was March 23rd. I almost said August, but it's March 23rd. And with that concludes tonight's session. So Nick, if you don't have any questions, feel free to hop off and I'll go ahead and stop the recording.
Bye. Bye.